Hello, LAPCS scholars. Today, we are going to talk about the industrialization and Gilded Age, part two. So you're going to do pretty much exactly the same thing you did yesterday in terms of how you put it together. So you're going to have two tabs open, one next to the other. One will have your worksheet in it, and one will have the video in it, okay? And you fill out the worksheet as you watch the video. So you'll be pausing and writing out things, answering questions, and that sort of thing in order to do so. Okay. Industrialization and Gilded Age, part two. Unfortunately, many factory employees worked long hours in unhealthy conditions. As you can see here, it's very crowded. There's no ventilation, and there were children. The average workday and the work week were long by today's standards, so 10 to 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. Employers hired the least expensive laborers. Pay averaged from $3 to $12 weekly, but for immigrants who were often willing to work for far less, they paid less. Women and children were also frequently employed as low-paid workers. Oops, little, okay. As industrialists sought to achieve their great speed and efficiency, each worker became like a machine. Work became less skilled, more repetitive and monotonous and boring. Industrial working conditions in the late 19th century were very hazardous. Safeguards around machinery were inadequate or non-existent. Thousands of workers were injured or killed in industrial accidents each and every year. Sweatshops. I think everybody's heard this term. So a sweatshop, and this is something that you're going to have to write out on your worksheet. A workshop is like a small factory, often in a city. It had poor pay and horrible conditions. Child labor. Textile mills and coal mines made use of child labor and for performing special tasks. Children were often exposed to the moving parts of machines while they worked. Injuries to children were high. 1/5 of all U.S. children in the age of 15 worked outside the home in 1819. They missed sunshine, fresh air, play, and the chance to attend school. Lack of job security. Workers, sorry about that. Workers can be fired at any time for any reason. In bad economic times, manufacturers simply halted production and fired the employees. Workers lacked the benefits enjoyed by workers today, such as unemployment insurance, workers' compensation for injuries on the job, and paid sick days. The rise of unions. Some workers formed unions in order to act as a group instead of individuals. Unions organized strikes and other forms of protest to obtain better working conditions. In 1892, striking union members hired security forces, fought each other at Carnegie's Homestead plant. Excuse me. The Knights of Labor. They were formed in the hope to create a single national, I can't even remember what that word is. Oh, union. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, unions. Formed in 1869, they hoped to create a single national union by joining together all skilled and unskilled workers. So they demanded an 8-hour workday, higher wages and safety codes, opposed child labor, and supported equal pay for women, and supported restrictions on immigration. The American Federation of Laborers, founded in 1881 by Samuel Gompers, he hoped to create a powerful union by uniting workers with similar economic interests, skilled workers. Continued. Gompers limited his goals to winning economic improvement for workers, higher pay, an 8-hour workday, and better working conditions. He fought hard to improve members' job security by seeking closed shops. Closed shops were places where only union members could be hired. The AFL quickly emerged as the principal force of organized labor. The government's attitude toward unions. The government had an anti-union bias. Many in government saw unions as driving up the costs of goods. Public opinion supported the laissez-faire policies. Many Americans believe that businesses should have the right to hire and fire employees as they pleased. The Haymaker Affair. In 1886, labor leaders were blamed when a bomb exploded during a demonstration of striking workers at Haymarket Square in Chicago. 7 policemen were killed and 67 others were severely wounded. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's it. Okay. So we have the rise of the labor unions. And it's quite evident that there were a lot of problems between the labor force and the people who ran the companies. And it's not like this is something that doesn't happen today. It's just not as severe as it was then. Things are a lot more. You have often to have a way to go about getting equal pay and clean facilities and that sort of thing. Okay, so make sure you fill out your worksheet and hand it in, and we will see you tomorrow. If I can get this thing to turn off. There we go. All right. Have a good rest of your day.